My name is Lila Kotler Jaffe, and I was diagnosed at the age of 36, which I'm happy to say was over 8 years ago. I think cancer strikes everyone. I think that cancer is not biased. I think it can hit anyone at any time. However, with Ashkenazi Jewish people, 1 in 40 of us carry a BRCA1 or BRCA2 mutation. And that's a huge statistic for a certain minority. With this center, not only can they focus on BRCA1 or BRCA2, but by going further into genetic research, it will help so many other cancers.
So my name is Tara Feiner. I am 39 years old, and I was identified with the BRCA2 gene in 2009. So my mother had breast cancer. She was 36 when she was first diagnosed. So when I turned 30, I started with my mammograms and had to go into a cycle of mammograms and MRIs. And on my MRI in 2009, at March, it was a bit inconclusive. And I got a little nervous. And so I actually had sought out the advice of my mom's oncologist from 25 years prior. And we talked for a bit, and she calmed me because I didn't know if I was being overreactive, wanting to talk to a breast surgeon just to be cautious. And she said, no, absolutely, go see a breast surgeon, and I think you should be tested for the gene. And I hemmed and hawed a bit because in my mind, I didn't know that the gene would be, knowing whether or not I had the gene would be anything value added, because I had a very surface knowledge about the BRCA genes. And I thought, well, if I have it, I might or might not get breast cancer. I don't think I would ever do a double mastectomy. But she started to talk to me about the other risk factors involved, and she encouraged me to go.
I kind of grew up thinking about breast cancer. Unfortunately, it ran in my family. My grandmother passed away at a very young age of 36, and I never had an opportunity to meet her. My mother talked about her all the time, and she was always worried about herself if she was going to get breast cancer. So I kind of always thought breast cancer was going to be in my future. My mom did get breast cancer at the age of 50, and then passed away just 4 years later. So when I met my husband later that year, I actually brought it up on our first date. And I said, I hope you're not afraid of breast cancer, because this might be something that will occur in my future. And it's just funny that we talked about it so early on, because it weighed on me so much. I learned that I was a survivor after going through genetic counseling 10 years later. I waited. I waited because I wasn't ready to do anything more than surveillance. I treated myself as if I was at high risk, but I wasn't ready to do anything more than that. 10 years later, I was happily married to my husband from that first date. I had 6-year-old twins, and I just started to worry. I became obsessed with, what will this mean to me? Is this going to happen? My grandmother died the following year. I needed to do something right away. So I went through genetic counseling, and I found an organization called FORCE, Facing Our Risk of Cancer Empowered, and they termed this word survivor, and it made sense. It fit who I was and what I was going through, and I learned that it was more of a gift to learn about the BRCA mutation than to be only scared about it. By having the information, I could actually do something to change my destiny, make it something different than what happened to my mom and my grandmother.
I want people to have the best information they can to make the best decision they can for themselves. Sometimes the unknown is very scary. I know that from my own experience. And the more you talk to people, the less scary it is. You can put a name and a face, and this is what somebody went through, and hey, look, they came out okay.
I would urge people to go out there, understand their genetics, be empowered, and make decisions to face their risk factors and protect themselves.